So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the Jezza Jones Oval here at downtown Brighton, where the thermometer is sitting on a very balmy 21.5 degrees. It is the Barwick's Landscape Supplies STJFL season for 2022, and we've got a crack of a match ensuing. It is the Kingborough Black, the Sandy Bay White. It's the old Silver Fox Hopwood sitting in the main commentary tower, and I'm very, very fortunate to be joined by one of the luminaries of Tasmanian football in Rob Farlie. Rob, welcome on board.
For it?
It is a... Oh, there we are. I'll turn you on.
Yeah.
Now, mate, you're coaching in the next round, but more importantly, it is umpire appreciation round, and you, of course, very well involved in that caper.
Yeah.
How have you found this year in the umpiring caper and the appreciation of the said what you're doing in the umpiring caper? How has it been this year?
Yeah, look, I reckon it's been great. You know, like, it's interesting because you kind of watch, well, most people watch AFL games, and they kind of hear the commentators talking about whether they like or don't like the dissent rule in AFL games. Yes. And, you know, that's sort of one debate, I guess. But, you know, as far as for underage football and club football, I reckon the dissent rule's awesome.
I agree. Because
we can go into the rooms beforehand, we can meet all the players and just say, look, if you want to talk to me, wait till after a goal's kicked.
Yep.
But during a game, I've got no time for it. The game's moved on, so just, it'll be 50 metres. And that's quietening all the players up, and there's a lot more. I think the players are kind of have actually realised that's enough. Let's just play footy.
Yeah, we're going to take that conversation further as the game has gone forward. And again, we do appreciate you coming in. We know that you've got to go away shortly to the other game, so we thank you for coming into this quarter, as Sandy Bay were fantastic out of that centre break, and here they go now as they move around the ball. That was Atwell who came back inside. Very good performance there. Just missing that one was McGregor with that big long kick. Here go the Tigers. Quick tap out here, and they now get the ball, and there it is, moved on through the middle of the ground. It only goes as far as the rampaging Zoe Kuma, who goes back in towards that centre-half forward position. What a brilliant tackle there by Rose. And I have to say, Rob, that's one of the features of the junior football in the female division, is the tackling.
Yeah, they really, they
love it.
They're almost like they learn to tackle before they do anything else.
Which is fascinating, isn't it? Because there's not a lot of sports that the girls come from it's almost like they're being unleashed.
Yeah, absolutely, and they love it.
They do love it. The ball goes end on end, back through the centre of the ground. It's going to be a closely contested game, and I'm interested to know too, Rob, while I do have you, it seems to be very strong football at this stage down at Tigerland.
Yeah, we've been lucky to have a bunch of girls who sort of come through from 11s, then through to under 13s, and this year we've got 2 under 15 teams.
Brilliant.
2 under 13 teams, so the numbers are really good, which is, you know, it's fantastic. It's great to see a community club, you know, really supporting the local community, getting the girls together, and they're just having fun, which is totally awesome. I
agree with you there, and that's what we want to see, as Chloe Webb there just tried to kick that one off the ground but couldn't do so. But now it comes out, and here come the Tigers. Pick that up. There's a bit of a Dusty Martin with the don't argue there, if you don't mind, from Gabby White. Watching some of their heroes on the telly, I say the Dusty Martin, of course, it might be in the AFLW, Rob, that they're probably getting their heroes. And isn't it great to see the development of the AFLW?
Oh, it is, certainly. I went and watched a game at North Hobart earlier on this year. Who did you play? North Melbourne and Freo.
Yep.
And gee, I was astounded by the quality of the AFL women's football. It's like, you know, like it's sort of like, you know, I don't know whether it's much use comparing, but to give people an idea, it's sort of like it was the same level as you know, senior SFL football.
Yep.
And these are a bunch of women playing, and they were, you know, kicking the ball like 35, 40, 50 metres.
Yep.
A handful of them constantly.
Yep.
Oh, gee, it was a quality football.
And the thing is that with these young ladies coming through, as Sandy Bay go there, and I tell you what, that's a brilliant goal by the Bay. We'll have a look at that one again on the Mood Food replay. I think kicked that one from downtown. That was almost from New Norfolk. That was huge. As we have another look at that one, here it comes. Let's just see here, Rob. Bit of a tap out here by the Bay. A nice handball as it came to Rowley. And Rowley just squared her shoulders up and ran towards the goal beautifully. Had the Gary Ablets about her. and really knew what she was about to do and put that one through. So as we check the Brighton's best Bakehouse scoreboard, we see that Sandy Bay White with 1 goal straight to Tigers yet to score. And I just have to guide you, talking of our sponsors, you've just got a few crumbs just on the side of your cheek there, Rob, and I know that was the pie that you had at the Brighton's best Bakehouse Bakery on the way through.
It's one of the bonuses of coming out to Brighton.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
You get to go to the pie, because it's funny, like games at the pies at the canteen. No disrespect to the canteen, but I like the flaky pies, you know.
Yes. It's the only trouble with the car, isn't it? You're going down that main highway and it just starts to pull to the left. You've got to pull in to the Brighton's best taste bakery. And so thank you very much to Scotty Donaghy and all our friends there, as the Tigers just do a good job to bring that one back out. They're under a little bit of pressure here. A lot of questions being asked. That's Imogen Atwell who brings it back in now. Very nicely played here as Webb is over the ball. Good tackle by her for the Tigers and bursting straight through. That was no nonsense play. Maybe just clipped a bit too high, Rob.
Yeah.
And
she got a free.
Let's just see how it's being played.
Oh, no.
Now, you might know more about the umpiring caper than I, given you're right in there. I know one umpire is fabulous, absolutely fabulous, Phil Geeson out there in the white hat. Do you know who this young fella is?
No, I've never umpired
you on the spot.
I've done a few with Phil, but not with the young fella. So there's a whole bunch of young fellas getting into the game, which is great, because we need more umpires. Otherwise, there's not going to be enough of us to keep the games going. So it's great to see young fellas getting involved.
Well, as good as you are, Rob, it must have been a fantastic learning experience doing it with fabulous Phil.
Oh yeah. He brings the wisdom. He's a cool head in a pressure situation.
He is, isn't he? No doubt about that. So there is O'Donoghue for the Bay. She is wrapped up by Webb, quickly getting that kick off by the Bay inside the 50, but just mopping it up. I think that was maybe Hagan with those very fluorescent pink boots, looking somewhat resplendent.
Yeah.
Gone are the days back when I used to have to get the hammer out and nail my screws in, Rob, and the old black 4 diamonds.
The black ones, There's a few pairs of blacks out there, but they're mostly coloured these days, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, you got your colours. There's no doubt about that. Bring back the black. As charging out here is Van Drism. Just overran the ball, but they've got the numbers. There's a big, strong bump over the ball, and that was
pressure, isn't it?
Yeah, Vaith on that side. Umpire Geeson said just ping for holding without the ball, and Giblin.
Yeah.
And there is one of the new rules there, Rob, isn't it? With that standing, isn't it? So it gives the person, if they're up to it, a big opportunity to play on with the, and get a few extra metres.
It opens the game up. As a coach, that's what I'm always saying to the girls. Don't kick it up and down the same line.
Yep.
Try and move it off the line, get it out into space, into grass.
Yep.
And that's when footy gets really good to watch, isn't it?
Oh, gee, it's great to pick his brains here. Super coach Rob Farlie, what he says, as soon as you get off the mark, go out wide, play on and keep the space. Well, I'm very comforted to know, Rob, coaching in senior company, that's exactly the message I bring to the young ladies that I've been fortunate enough to coach. So here are the Tigers. They go back inside the 50, but look at that, standing very tall in defence is Giblin. She is absolute Adonis in this division in standing tall. Goes back towards centre half back. Good work here. I think that's McGregor who goes back in to get it, but it is the Tigers now picking up. Good handball by Bell. And it is the Bay just clearing that. And can you tell me, Rob, how you see this competition run out? Is it a very even competition in the under 15A1?
Yeah, 15A1. I reckon we've got a couple of people out in front. So Clarence and Lauderdale, great football teams.
Yep.
I think Lauderdale again. Last year, Lauderdale had a pretty amazing football team.
Yes.
Again this year they've fronted up with just really well drilled, and they're a bit more confident when they have got to change the angles and to play into space.
Yes.
Same with Clarence, they were great. So then I reckon there's 2 Sandy Bay and 2 Kingborough teams are really quite tight. So
yeah, no, that's good to know. Yeah, no, down at Lauderdale, I've had a little bit to do with them last year. I know Fabian Ackroyd and Simon Radcliffe were there. I think Simon is the guy who now is coaching the team that is left in the 15. They won the 15B last year, so just running over the ball is Giblin. But look at that. That's brilliant football by the Tigers, picking it up. And I love it when when players just take the game on, Rob, like that.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Good to see. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing down at Lauderdale. I reckon they might be having some extra trainings because their teams, they're onto it. Like they just got it.
Oh, well, I think it's just the clean, fresh air and the country life.
The ocean water.
The ocean water. That's part of it. There's no doubt about that. And that's a very nice handball. Well played. And it was Kuma who was on that one. Now just socket off there by the Tigers, just trying to get that metre by Scarlett Fell. So we're 8 minutes 40 gone in the first quarter here in the Barwick's STJFL U15A1 division.
Unlucky. Yep, she got tackled.
Tackled and holding the ball. And that was another one that we alluded to, Rob, before we started our coverage, as in tapping into your umpiring sector of your brain, that holding the ball rule. When you pay that, how much time would you give the person who is attempting to pick the ball up?
Yeah, it's a good question because it's one of those questions of judgment. Like, you know, there's no kind of, there's prior opportunity. So I reckon when I'm umpiring, it's always like, you know, do they have prior?
Yep.
And if they're standing there and they're not moving, I give them a little bit less time. But if they're on the run, I give them a bit more time because often when you're running, you haven't got time to get your hands out or get a kick away. So if they're on the move, I give them a bit more time than if they're just standing still. So.
And is there a time frame in your brain that you sort of think, you know, 1 second or anything of that nature, or it's just more the action of they could have had a chance to get rid of it?
Yeah, it's sort of like, do they have a chance to get rid of it? And there was a couple that I paid yesterday where guys got tackled to the ground and, you know, there was very little prior, but they got tackled to the ground and then the ball was sort of out in front of them. They had both hands on the ball wasn't pinned, and then they're just kind of, their hands are just kind of lying on the ball and they didn't get it out, and I said, no, I'll pay that because you could have got rid of that. So,
gee whiz, it's just fantastic to hear how it is that we pay those things, because that's the thing with Australian rules, as you and I sort of said, it isn't like tennis where you can see, no, that ball's out, you know, or it's a fault. It's down to the interpretation of the individual, which can see it slightly different. But there is Josephine Rose as one of the young ladies, and she looks fantastic with a matching headband and shoes in the pink. As the ball comes back indoors now, it's fighting very, very hard. And so do the two teams down at Kingborough train together, Rob? Yeah, look, we train together, and then the only time we separate is really on the Sundays on game day. So yeah, it's great for the girls to all, you know, girls from all different schools, all getting to know each other, girls from all walks of life, you know, and they've all got different personalities. So it's a big part of footy is learning to get along with other people. I agree wholeheartedly, and that was wonderful play there by the Tiger defence. Good tackling here, picking it up, trying to get some space, quickly gets it out. Here's another good play as picked up there by Sandy Bay, going the handball to someone in a better spot and just taken a little bit too high. And he's very hot on this one, is umpire Geeson. As soon as it gets anywhere near that head region, he's quick to protect the person going the ball, which I love. Yeah, it gives the players confidence, doesn't it? You know, that's the word, confidence. You think, the coach is telling him to get in, but the umpire today doesn't seem to be paying those high tackles. But when they all of a sudden the first one blows, think, it's on today, I'm going to get in and get the footy. Yeah, he'll look after me or she'll look after me. So that, correct. Yeah, it gets the girls getting right into it. So it's great to see. Well, there's one thing that you just said, he or she will look after me. How are the numbers in umpiring for females? There's more males than females, and I can sort of understand, because in the past it was fairly burly being an umpire. You know, you had to mix it up with some people having some pretty harsh words, but I guess with this decree coming down from AFL about dissent, I reckon things will change. So we're really looking for more females to umpire females games, and also females to coach female games. Yeah, I know down at Lauderdale we are just mentoring a couple of female coaches, and I think that's wonderful for the game. Yeah. Here we go now, end over end. It's a tight tussle. Only the one goal being scored, and that was by Rowley for Sandy Bay in what was a lovely piece of play when she took that possession and ran hard and fast towards the goals and squaring the shoulders up. But here are the Tigers. Went inside 50. Just a stumbling kick and followed up very, very nicely. Well played there by that defender, wasn't it? Yep, they're into it. They certainly are. Very tough. That was Ruby James who kicked that ball and followed up, but now it comes out. Couldn't quite pick that one up. Just a slide in the back. Didn't have it. Didn't have it, and O'Donoghue will take that kick for Sandy Bay, quickly getting off the mark. And here's where we'll see if she'll go on the 45. Just decides there, quickly play on and go down the centre of the ground, the shortest way home. A quick flick into the face there, but play on is the call as it goes out now. Sandy Bay to it. Oh, magnificent play. I love the work of Josephine Rose.
Josephine Rose, yeah.
She's a ripper.
Yeah, she's been around footy for a long time, and you can sort of see it. Real
she
confidence.
has any brothers play the caper, you know, Rob?
I don't know about her brothers, but I know that she plays confidently, probably the most confident on this team.
It's an interesting thing you say that. Confidence sometimes, I know in the Division 3 team that I'm associated with, the girls have good intent and they're not scared, but sometimes just the confidence when they go into it and they might just stop. Oh, should this be me or not? But we can see from Josephine, she just has that steely stare and runs really hard towards the ball in the contest.
Yeah. And I guess for me, you know, developing young girls' confidence is you know, that's one of the benefits of playing footy. You develop that personal trait.
Well, there was Coombe, who went towards the goal and has just pushed that one down to the side. But the Tigers are on the board as we check the Brighton's best Bakehouse scoreboard that says Tigers black, 1 behind to Sandy Bay white, 1 goal straight 6. So, Rob, have you had the challenge of playing against the black team yet?
That was last weekend, and it was called off because of all the rain. So it was probably good in some ways, because I tell you what, like, one thing about female footy is, like, there's big personalities, and it's a lot more. There's a lot more interpersonal dynamics. Whereas it seems like a little bit like the boys just get out there and they just kick the footy. They don't really care who's there. Whereas with the girls, there's a lot of personality involved. So it's probably good they didn't play each other.
Okay, well, that's be interesting. They'll come against each other sometime as the siren has gone for quarter time. That sees the Tigers 1 behind to Sandy Bay, 1 goal straight, and that goal went to Willow Riley. So a very, very close game. How do you see it so far? Are you seeing any favouritism, or it's a bit of an arm wrestle, Rob, isn't it?
It is a bit of an arm wrestle. I think Sandy Bay were going downhill, so they've got a goal ahead. So hopefully when the Tigers go downhill, they can use the slope here. Yeah,
it's a slope, and certainly in all the previous games, Rob, the highway end has been the end that has been favouring the scoring. So it'll be interesting to see how we go. So, mate, we thank you for dropping in and joining us. So there's a beautiful mark on replay there, as we mentioned. I know you've got to go and prepare your charges. So it is quarter time here in the big clash. Kingborough Gold, the Sandy Bay White. It is Sandy Bay with their nose in front. We'll be back to the second quarter action very shortly. So we're back here at the Jessa Jones Oval for what has been a very, very entertaining game so far that has seen Sandy Bay kick the 1 clear goal. That was a lovely play by Willow Rowley, who just squared the shoulders up and ran hard at the goals. And it was the Tigers who, near the end, got that ball down there and forced it through, but just slightly errant. It is now Andrew Silverfox Hopwood, and I'm joined by the veteran Martin Duffy as co-commentator. That was a great first quarter, Duff.
Yeah, very high standard, Andrew. The ball was flowing around really well. Only the 1 goal scored, but I really enjoyed it on the camera up here. And how's the ground out there, Hoppy? You've been out there and had a look. Looks like perfect conditions now.
It is absolutely perfect conditions. It's slightly soft underfoot in that it's, you know, I'm not saying it was not wet, it's just perfect. So even if you get thrown to the ground, it's almost got that trampoline feel, if you like, nice and soft, as Gabby White went forward. And I tell you what, here is Josephine Rose, who's moved down forward. Rose arches the back, and there she goes, who played centre-half back. Well, Duff, in the first quarter, Rose was the stopper, and this time she picked it up, and really deft, wasn't she? She went down with the one-arm Morris Rioli-like, and then she squared the shoulders up, and we see here on the Mood Food replay, Duff, great play here by Kingborough. There, look at that. Sold a bit of candy with a really good mark. And this is what we're talking about, the difference in female footy, Duff, where some of the girls who are playing senior football, and please, this is no disrespect, are somewhat mechanical in the way they kick, in that they haven't been brought up with the game.
No.
But you see someone like a Josephine Rose, who's now under 15, who's probably played since she was Auskick.
That's right.
It's a very natural way she goes about a footy does.
Well, that was just champagne football.
It was great football by the Tigers, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, good call there. No, she probably has been playing for a number of years, and she has all the skills and all the poise like a lot of her teammates and girls on the oppositions as well.
So it is Sandy Bay now who picked that one up in the centre of the ground. What was 21 odd degrees a little while ago, Duff, it's still quite warm, but those clouds are just sort of starting to gather around here and a little bit dark in what was a very sunny day. So we'll see if this game, and there is our weather radar, which has just got on top of the stand here, so it's fantastic. And you see it just coming over there, Duff.
Yeah, no, some big clouds, but gee, that was a great tackle, wasn't it?
Very nice tackle. So the Tigers comes back towards Rose again. She is beset upon, and that was a really good tackle by the Bay. Well, that was Rowley who's moved down back as well. Picked up there by Whitehouse Summers. And one of the things these two great coaches in Summers and McGregor will do, Duff, the right thing is to move the players around in different positions so that they're learning the caper.
No, I like that. I like that because you don't want to be one-dimensional with your football.
Yep. Well, that was like you when you played, Duff.
Well, I was one-dimensional.
I was going to say, you know, because you were a very, very creative half-forward flanker.
Oh, yeah, but there was problems in my game, Hoppy. If I wasn't on, I was no good to anybody. Yeah. Had no defence in my game, but these days they get taught how to do the defensive part, how to be an attacking player, and no, it's a good part of the modern game.
Yeah, it is, and just arching the back was O'Prey there and gets the ball back in towards a very dangerous area as Annie Pavlidis gets it over the back, and they've got the Chargers here if they can get the handle on it, Duff. Oh, just overran the ball, but goes back in for a second effort on the tackle, so well done there by Maxwell, who made the error but made up for it with that brilliant second effort and held without the footy. So, gee whiz, that was good stoic defence there, Duff, by the Tigers.
Yeah, what was that free kick for? Was that holding the ball? Or
just holding a bit long within the tackle there, Duff.
Right.
Fabulous Phil Geeson just said, just held a little bit too long. And so the free kick there, it's Atherton.
Oh, it's fabulous Phil Geeson, the umpire today.
Oh, there he is.
In the background.
Absolutely. Have a look at him just sort of talking to the players, just commentating on the game, and they'd feel so much confidence, the kids out there, wouldn't they, Duff?
Oh, well, he's been umpiring a long time. He knows a lot about football.
Well, you used to say you loved him when he umpired you.
Oh, no, that's going back like to Jock McGregor's days, like 30 years ago.
Yep, no, that's when he was just sort of starting off as Nesta gets a good kick in here. They are pressing the Bay. They've got repeat entries coming in, as that's a very, very strong tackle. And how about that, getting up? But here are the Tigers. They're sensing that they're coming forward at all costs, and they are on the last line of fed. So well played there by Chloe Webb. Gets it back further afield to Gabby White. Back into that centre half forward position, grabbing onto Spell. Fell quickly gets that ball outside the 50 now, and they are running very quickly. Here is Hagan, and Hagan gets it down to an advancing position, but the Tigers can't get it past the half-back line of the Lions, and they now pick that ball up. They're going to go a bounce in these lilac boots. Big, long entry inside the 50. Standing over the ball, doing a very nice job was Cantor. But the defences are standing up tall, Duff, on both teams.
Yeah, very low-scoring game, but like I said, it's flowing around. There's hardly been any stoppages, but you're right. I think the defensive team, or the defensive part of both sides is on top of this match.
So there is Tumney, and she shot the free kick for just being a little bit too high, and the umpire's been very clear and consistent so far in all the games that we've seen, Duff. As soon as anyone gets near the old head, they'll blow the whistle and make sure that they give the free kick. Umpire said that one's not going to come up, and he'll ball that one aloft. Just waiting for the players to create some space. And we thank our partners, Barwick's Wholesale Retail Landscape Supplies. I know you had some gum bark delivered during the week, Duff, as breaking out of the pack was Verhagen and put that one through for a very nice goal. But we'll go back to those additions you're doing in your garden, Duff. And as I say, you had the gum bark delivered, and it's looking a treat from Barwick's.
Yeah, yes, the gum bark. We had the blue metal. We had some drain issues, so we had some blue metal as well. Some piping, which I think they sell.
Yep.
No, Barwick's right across southern Tasmania. They're everywhere.
They certainly have. Joanna Verhagen there, Duff. Wasn't she swift when she swooped on that ball? terrific work by her.
No, very good opportunistic goal.
So 2 goals in this quarter for the Tigers. One went to Josephine Rose from that strong mark and play on, and then Johanna Venhagen has got the second one for the Tigers. So we are nearly 7 minutes into this quarter, and getting a bit of a wriggle on there. There is Rowley, dispossessed, good tackle. And as Rob and I said, Duff, the tackling in this division is very strong, isn't it?
Seems to be something that I'd say they're focusing on at training quite a bit, because you're right, they're very good at it, and just about all the tackles have been legal, which is what we like to see.
Yeah, they drop to the knees and try and roll the player over, sort of like they called it the crocodile style, as someone might have just hit the head in the tackle, just checking out she's okay. She's, as we see here, that was Rowley, picked that ball up and just came across and maybe just jarred the head slightly, Duff, in the tackle.
And umpire Geeson just checking to make sure that she's okay, so that's great umpiring there by the very evergreen umpire Phil Geeson.
Absolutely. Here we go, back in that wingish position. Came out the back and trying to claim the mark was Cantor. Look at umpire Geeson. He's never going to be out of the game, Duff. He's he was about 200 metres off that one, and he blew the old whistle. And look at that. Look how quickly he got up to the play there.
It's like a gazelle.
He is like a gazelle.
How old is he?
Oh, I don't know about that. Look at the legs
on him.
He is an absolute machine.
He'd be about 40, wouldn't he, by now?
I'm going to say 46.
Yep.
Anyway, Giblin had a hard life though, Duff, as you can see, the big fella. No, he's just a ripper. Oh, look at him there. He's just in the play. And how unfortunate is that a ball can hit those lean legs. There's not a lot of target, and he's just sort of saying here, and just look at him explaining. Look at that. Bam, right on the old kneecap. And he just kept on talking to the girls, and that's what Rob was saying before,
Yeah,
Duff.
he's got a good communicator.
Good communication.
Yeah, that's what you want with an umpire.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody that's got a bit of pizzazz, they're positive, and they explain their decisions. I like him.
Yeah, and I do too. There was Gabby White who picked that one up and just gave a couple of don't argues, goes as far as Whitehouse Summers. She now gets that ball inside the 50, goes towards Wilkinson. Wilkinson for the Bay, picks it up, goes back through that central corridor, the shortest way home. But again, as soon as they pick the ball up, the big tackles are being wrapped up. That was Phoebe Gatehouse that particular time who did the big tackle. Oh, wonderful play there by O'Prey. And that's a name we know in the STJFL parlours, Duff. There's been a few O'Preys around.
Yes.
Back towards the centre there. Maybe going to space would have been the ideal kick, and going back through the centre. And there is O'Prey again following up. Oh, what a great pickup, Duff.
Oh,
look at that.
And the delivery was not too bad either. Just
got to keep running.
Take the mark there.
Just got to keep running, don't you? And there's Gabby White. And there are a couple of players out here which I'm so impressed the way when they get the ball, they don't think, Duff, they just do. They get it and just accelerate and think about what to do with the ball after they get 5 or 10 metres out in space.
And the good thing I've liked about this football, especially in this match today, is it's just been hardly any stoppages. I went to the AFL last night. I went and saw St Kilda and Geelong, and every 20 seconds, I reckon, stoppage, stoppage. Yeah, well, but this is football.
It is football, and if you look around the ground, Duff, you can see footballers in their positions. Yes. So we know that when they pick it up, there's going to be someone running forward to it. Unlike in that game that you just mentioned, they sort of, I mean, they've got a high level of fitness and they swarm around it, don't they? Yeah. In clusters. So this is your pure footy. This is your Barwick's STJFL football, where 4,000 run around week in, week out to try and get their hands on the IGA footy, Duff.
Oh.
And that's what we love to see as that IGA footy now is going forward towards those Kingborough goals, as the umpire has seen there's going to be a free kick and it's going to go to the Tigers here, Duff, and that's being paid to Verhagen. Verhagen, who is a goal scorer, comes back. She's 30 metres. Oh, it's a long kick. It's going to go close. That's a ripper of a goal. That's a cracker. She is a long way out. I would have thought, Duff, just to start with, I reckon that's very much on her limit. But as we can see here on the Mood Food replay, that'd be 30 out, Duff.
Yeah, no, that was a decent kick.
That was a ripper of a kick, wasn't it?
Yeah. Did look as though there was anybody on the line there, though, for Sandy Bay. They could have possibly have stopped that one.
Yeah, well, this is where the filming by Duff TV, Duff, you can see here, is crucial for the learnings of football. So the coach will be able to go back now. So I think it's Coach McGregor and say, you know what, girls, what I want you to do is have a look at this. What maybe could we have done better?
Yeah.
And they'll say, you're right, Jock. You wanted us back on the line. And the reason why is if we were, we could have touched that footy.
That's right.
So fantastic stuff here. And I know over there, Duff, we saw the diminutive figure of Mick Arnold. He's always at the STJFL with his pad, just writing stuff down about, you know, who plays well for the development of footy. And that's why he's a big favour of having these games filmed for coaching purposes. But here is the Bay. Kick it off the ground just quickly. Good effort, but only through for the minor score. So, gee whiz, the ball's going from end to end so quickly, Duff, isn't it?
It's entertaining. Yeah, it's easy to watch. It's good skills by the girls, and I think it gets better every year.
So it's a really good crowd that has gathered here, but they're in that big complex, the Jones complex behind us. Such a fantastic facility, Duff.
No, it's come a long way out here. Here's a good goal. Look at this one.
Kicking down towards the goals, and just there is what happens with the oval ball. So Kingston is a courageous kick across the goals. Only goes as far as some of the Sandy Bay players as they swarm in on it, but the Tigers, ever present, decide to clear that ball to that outer side towards Van Drizem. Van Drizem just tries to socket that one off. There is Opre. She gets it out to a call that she heard from Atwell.
Oh, they're away.
But picking that one up, and this is what I liked about some of the girls' competition stuff. They get that ball across that half-back flank and they play on so swiftly.
Oh, nice.
Gee, that's a good mark here from Sandy Bay. They decide to play on. Here is Rowley. We know she's a goal kicker because she did it down the other end, and she's done it again, Duff. Brilliant goal by Willow Rowley. That's almost a replica of the goal she got in the first quarter. She marked the ball probably 40 metres out. Knew it was too far for her, and she got her skates on, as we see here on the Mood Food replay. Look at her keeping her eye on the ball, Duff. She had a player in front and decided to play on. Goes to don't argue, didn't quite have to, and deft touch on the boot and right through the high diddle-diddle. High quality goal, Duff.
Yeah, no, very opportunistic goal, and just a bit of a shout out to an old mate of mine over there, Sam Atwell. Looks like he might be the assistant coach today.
Yeah, he's the manager, Duff.
He's the team manager, is he?
Yeah, team manager. I went and had a chat to Sam before the game just to make sure that we had all the names and the numbers, and he's efficient. Oh, he's very efficient.
He'd be across that. I think he's an accountant, Sam, so he wouldn't miss a beat.
Ah, yes, that's right.
Ticking every box out there.
He did. He has it for numbers. He quickly, as soon as I showed him, he said, yep, that's 16, and he divided by, he was all over the numbers, Duff.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so it's a very even game as we check the Brighton's best Bakehouse scoreboard that reads Tigers Black 3-1-19 to Sandy Bay White 2-1-13, and they are pressing here, Duff, late in the quarter. There's been a whistle on play. Got to go round the mark, I think, umpire Geeson's saying.
Yep.
Here they go. Play on is the call. Got to get it away quickly, on the boot, get the handball. Back to the goal kicker. But
no, it was a point anyway.
It's a point, but no score, says the umpire. It is half-time here in the Barwick's STJFL game of the day. Kingborough Black, the Sandy Bay White, that sees the Tigers 3-1-19 to Sandy Bay 2-1-13. For Sandy Bay, 2 goals to Willow Rowley. And for Kingborough Black, it is Johanna Verhagen 2 and Josephine Rose 1. But Duff, what a cracker of a game we have here.
It's all set up for a really, really interesting second half. You can see that what's happening, I think, Andrew, is there's a bit of rivalry starting to happen between some of these clubs and some of these teams. You know, and I'm sure the Kingborough girls would have been thinking, we've got Sandy Bay today. And
a lot of bragging rights.
You get a lot of bragging rights. You can just sort of feel it in the air, can't you?
Yep. No doubt about that. No, very entertaining matches. The girls are just going to the change rooms now to have their half-time break. We hope that you are enjoying the coverage here, brought to you by the STJFL's media partner, Duff TV. We're going to take our break and be back with all the action very, very shortly. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Brighton and the Jezza Jones Oval. Well, it's a little bit of a different story in relation to the weather. I was out there pre-game and I just had a walk around out there in the centre of the ground for the half-time. The temperatures dropped just slightly, but moreover than not, it's the dark clouds are starting to close in, and I think we might get a little bit of rain. I'm not sure if it's going to come in this game, but it is certainly going to come shortly. So goals will be at the premium if you can, to try and score them while it is dry. And there is umpire Geeson right in the thick of it, as Wilkinson did a very nice job for Sandy Bay to rock that ball out, but it is through for the minor score in what has been a very, very close and entertaining game so far in the under-15 A1 division here in the Barwick's STJFL season for season 2022. It is Rose who decides to play on a big kick of the IGA straight down the middle of the ground. Can't quite take the mark, but I love the great intent on the ball there by Ashley Coombe. Comes over further afield to Atwell. Atwell, she's always a very active player. Rowley, love the way when she gets the ball. Her intent and her urgency over the ball, I think, is something to behold. I love that about a player, Duff.
Yeah, just mentioning Atwell, of course, talking about Atwell's father, Sam. Sam and I played junior football, I think it was high school football, against each other back in the mid-80s, and what a great little forward pocket he was for Taroona High School.
Oh, that were the days when you could play a game as a forward pocket, Duff.
Oh, he was a little goal sneak.
Sneak.
Yeah, little fella he was. He used to get around, you know, and sneak a couple of easy, cheap ones out the back.
He had the Cyril Riolis about him.
Oh, definitely. Kick on either side of his body.
Oh, yeah. Very evasive, wasn't he? Talking what? Here is Atwell, the daughter of, who just got that ball into a very dangerous position. Oh, look at that brilliant shepherd being provided there by the Tigers. Great team effort work as Rowley goes towards the goals, and she's put it through. Gee, she's a goal-scoring machine, Duff.
Yeah, no, great goal there. And important to get one on the board early in the third quarter, and that's what they've done, the Bay.
So well done by the Bay, and that really tightens up as we check the Brighton's Best Bakehouse scoreboard, and it shows us that 3-2-20 to 3-1-19. They've for the first time got their noses in front as it went ever so close. To try and stop that was Emily Vay, but she couldn't quite touch it, Duff, in vain, and through for that goal for Sandy Bay. Gee whiz, I know that everyone will be watching this game. They'll be right on the edge of their seats because it's been a very close encounter and high quality as that ball was picked up. And that's what we'd like to see. No mucking around, just get it and go. Don't think about it, just do, as the great John Kennedy says. And they've pushed towards that goal. It might have been in the back. When you play in front, you're every chance to get the reward of the umpire, Duff.
Oh,
50 metres, was it, Duff? I think it's going to be 25.
50 metres, or is it 25, is it?
Yep. So the reason being,
yeah,
I think that they were over the mark, Duff.
But didn't she run on?
Well, let's have a look on the Mood Food replay. Maybe the umpire hadn't called play on, Duff.
Oh, yes.
So the new rule being you have to plant your feet.
Oh, it's the stand rule.
Stand rule.
Oh, gee.
So you can't then tackle just because you want to. You've got to wait for the umpire to call it. So playing down there back was Rose. So she's playing between centre half forward and centre half back, depending on the wind condition, as Atwell goes in. Atwell gets across to Rowley there. Two prime movers for Sandy Bay. Pavlidis picks it up, but umpire Geeson has come in and seen that it's going to be a free kick going out here to Summers. Summers gets a short kick over to Rose. Rose takes a strong mark. Booming kick. Wow, she's a wonderful kick of the footy. Gets it out further afield towards Gatehouse. Gatehouse always looks to be a great team player, Duff. She always looks to bring it up and try and give the hands out to someone in a better position. Love to play along someone like her. And here is Rowley. Good hands by her. It beset upon back to Pavlidis. As coming in was Rose with the strong tackle. Goes out towards Krumick. She gets that one end over end. Goes into their forward line. Well picked up. Quickly gets the boot to ball. Ball in dispute now. You can see the hot contest. At the bottom of the pack there is Webb for the Tigers, but coming in quickly, grabbing it now, going up the centre of the ground. Well played by Atherton. Atherton turns on a 5-cent piece. Do we have sexy 5-cent pieces anymore, Duff?
Oh, they don't work in the parking meters, I can tell you that much.
Gee, bring those back. I used to save them, Duff, and put them in the console of the car.
Oh, I still do in the hope that they'll work.
Yeah, the last time I used them was up at Devonport, and then I found out they actually came into the 21st century and they went from 5 cents to $2. Didn't I get a rude shock, Duff? So I got all the old 5-cent pieces and had to throw them out. Anyway, ball comes back down here. It is the Tigers on the last line of defence. Oh, look at this. Can they hold their feet? And there is a key lesson right there, Duff. Strong through the core. Try and hold your feet if you can.
Oh, which way will it bounce?
Big kick here by Rose Lowney going towards the goals, and it's just run off. Gee whiz.
Can you believe that?
That was close. And through for the minor score.
Every time that happens, I think of my team, St Kilda and Stephen Milne in the 2010 grand final.
Oh, dear, that was
broke
close.
My heart, Andrew.
It did.
Broke my heart.
But you would have enjoyed the game that you went and saw last night,
Oh,
Duff.
yes. No, they were great. They kicked, I think, 5 unanswered goals against the Cats.
Well, did they? Oh, well. This is the purest, though, for football lovers, isn't it, Duff? The STJFL Barwick season. So I know our highlights and the coverage that we do has great coverage and great viewership, because they always say to us when they write in, don't they, Duff? We love it, Fox. We love watching real footy where there's a full forward, a centre-half forward, and they stay in their positions. It's and it's a good intent on the footy as McGregor goes back in, but Kingston holding firm. They're under a fair bit of pressure here at the moment, Duff.
No, it's been all Sandy Bay really in this third quarter.
Well, it is the scoring end, Duff. And that's a strong mark taken by Coombe.
It is a little bit downhill to the left of screen, so it does make a difference. Like Bellreeve Oval.
Gee, I remember back in the day, Duff, when I used to play there, you'd run out of the back pocket to the top end of the Church Street end, and you can only just see the top of their head.
Oh, yeah. And
then you had no idea who was kicking it to you. So you'd say, kick it to me, and then all of a sudden, 5, 4, it's Duff. Have over here, Duff, because you'd see him come up above the rise as the umpire. This young umpire, he's starting to gain more confidence as well, too, isn't he, Duff?
Well, he's been
somewhat flamboyant. Phil is just showing him the ropes.
He is, yes.
The ball comes into... He must have, when he realised on the weekend, who's my partner, and he saw flamboyant, fabulous Phil, he said, oh, what a cracker. I'm going to learn a bit this weekend. As the ball comes end over end as Sandy Bay picked that one up. Nice hands there by Davey, getting it out to Gabby White, who just tries to bulldoze her way through. She only knows one way, that's running in straight lines. Good defence. It's a hot football out there, and a very, very good contest as the Tigers try to pick it up through the agency of Charlotte Van Druzen. She goes again here, Duff. She picks it up below her knees very, very cleverly. Tries to go back in towards the goal, doing the unselfish thing of centering the ball. And there is the tackle, very, very strong. And the umpire has said it's going to be a ball up.
Yeah, no, some great tackle there, but also some great defensive work by the Sandy Bay team. They're under a lot of pressure here.
They certainly were, and here they go again, and just not wanting to give an inch.
Oh, that could be holding the ball.
Not sure.
Oh, gee, Ump didn't make an attempt.
Oh, gee, and just for a minute there, I thought you were showing some dissent there towards our umpire and umpire appreciation day, Duff. If I'll have to get the mood for replay. I think you were just sort of airing an opinion, but of course the umpire had it right.
Oh, yeah, well, they usually are right.
But not usually, Duff, though I've never seen an umpire make a mistake. They're close to the action, and that's the thing. We have an opinion, but of course we're from a long way. The only thing that we are up in the Peter Sharp Tower here and have a very, very good vantage point, but gee whiz, they're right there over the ball. So it is now fighting very, very hard for the ball.
Yep. Yes, good decision there by Fabulous Phil. She had prior opportunity and didn't get the ball onto the boot.
And one of the girls too I've liked for Kingborough, Duff, is Bonnie Camilleri, and I've just checked now, and the reason why I haven't called her name, but she changed Guernsey, so she's number 2, and she's been doing a very, very nice job as well for Kingborough Black. And that ball now goes inside the 50, Tigers. One of the things I've noticed today, Duff, is the skill of picking up the ball.
Yes.
How good is it?
No, that's something that does take a little bit of practice and time.
Look at
to come
that.
into your game.
McGregor went down there just then,
pressure.
didn't fumble. She picked it up as clean as a whistle. Look at that. They're picking that ball, and that is the hardest thing to do when you play AFL.
Oh, that's that term, being good below your knees.
Good below your knees, indeed. And these girls have obviously been drilled well. So Coach Summers and Coach McGregor with their charges. And here is Willow Rowley, picks that one up and drives it long towards the leading forward. Can't quite pick that one up. So they decide to defend towards that outer side. And always with the don't argue is Willow Rowley, somewhat predictable in that. And you know she's going to go towards goal. It's on the last line of defence. And I think the ball has gone over as Josephine Rose is going to take this free kick now. Bring it in.
Excellent defence there by, I nearly called them Richmond, by the Kingborough girls, just to get a couple players back there.
Yep. No, I agree, Duff. So I know I finish up very shortly here, Duff. We've got some more games to watch, and I'm so looking forward to going to Brighton's Best Bakehouse just to get a little snack on the way home. Very much looking forward to that, as that's a good tackle by Gabby White. She's been dispossessed, though, now by the rampaging Tigers, as that quick kick has gone out towards that outer side. And it's now going to be a ball in. Of course, the grandstand over there, Duff, looks a little bit empty. I don't think one or two people there, but gee whiz, the newsstand where we're filming from it's actually chockers, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's a huge
it's
crowd.
A big crowd. We've got the camera up here and a crowd of about, it must be about 150, 200 people.
What, just in your area? But then what about beside you in that viewing area, Duff? I reckon there'd be, gee whiz, at least 1,000 people sitting up over there.
Oh, maybe 900.
Yeah, 900. And there we can see, as we spoke about before, that wine bar area where you put your, normally the grassy area, you put the rug out, take your dog and have a couple of quiet ones. Just up watching the footy. STJFL, it's the Barwick's STJFL season, purest football at its best. The biggest football competition in Tasmania, and we're being treated to a brilliant contest here by the young ladies going about their work in the under-15 division, as one of the prime movers in that is Willow Rowley, who kicks that ball close to the line and gained the quick handball, as I think there's been something behind play here, Duff. Not quite sure
called for throwing the ball there. Incorrect disposal. Well,
I'd like to see that one on the Mood Food replay.
No, umpire Phil got it right again.
No, I'm saying I'd like to see that on the Mood Food replay, because
at the stats, he's running at 95%.
Oh, the accurate one.
Can you believe it?
Yeah, so there is Ashley Coombs. She picks that one. She evades a tackle and goes round, and she's good enough to do that deft kick to Neve Hagan. Hagan, drop punt, and standing tall, taking a very competent mark, is Olivia Wilkinson.
Come on, Chase!
Wilkinson, she goes out. It's another thing that they would have been drilled, Duff, is to quickly get off the mark and then try and play on at a 45 angle, so you're not kicking over the mark. Good pickup, brilliant pickup by White. White quickly gets the handball out, dispossessed there by Wilkinson, starting to get up plenty of kicks. Here goes O'Prey. Oh, look at that lovely short pass. Yeah. Brilliant work going towards Rowley. Rowley quick to get in. She knows time is of the essence now. They got the numbers if they get that handball across. Good tackle there. Well done by Emily Vaith. Just quickly gets it over, only as far as Rowley. Rowley goes back towards the goals, and it's gone out of bounds. But a very determined effort there, and well played in the last line of defence by the Tiger defence, Duff.
No, they've done well there. It's been in to their defensive area for probably more than down the other end. So they've been under the pump, they've stood up, and it's still only 3 points down.
All right, so it is a ball up with only 30-odd seconds to go. Oh, they'd love to sneak one out here, Duff, just before the three-quarter siren. Can they hang on? Nice tap out there by the Bay. Tigers are over the ball. Just trying to hold that, and reefing one out is Rowley. She breaks out and she's kicked the goal, Duff.
Oh.
That's her 4th goal.
Wow.
She is a very, very determined young lady, Duff.
That's 4 out of 4.
She's kicked the goals, but have a look at this on the Mood Food replay. Her determination to want the ball. She hunts the ball down. You can see here the ball is in dispute. And have a look at her commitment. It's in dispute. Wrestle, wrestle, reef. Out she goes, gets the don't argue and heads towards the goal and puts that one through. That is a brilliant goal, Duff.
Yeah, no, it's very, very strong.
She is. You can see her
It's not one of
body
the bigger
there.
girls out there, but she's very, very strong, and just to duck around like that and to be able to get some poise and then put it on the boot and kick it straight through, it says something about her ability.
Well, one of the things I like about her, which I have to say I'm trying to drill into the girls that I coach, is don't hesitate. Don't hesitate at all, and that's exactly what Willow Rowley does. She's transfixed on the ball. She goes in, she hunts it down, and goes very, very nicely. So 3/4 time here, which sees Sandy Bay White 4-4-28, Tigers 3-1-19. We hope you're enjoying the coverage as we're going to take our last break here in this big clash between Kingborough Black and Sandy Bay White, and be back very shortly with all the action in the last quarter.
This program brought to you by IGA, where the locals matter.
In today's world of self-service, it's nice to know that there's still a place where you can sit back and relax. Bennett's Driveway Service, now at Snug, Lerner Valley and Sandy Bay. For more than 40 years, Bennett's Petroleum has been there for all Tasmanians.
Brighton's best Bakehouse. Love that homemade taste. Brighton's best Bakehouse. Delicious in every way. Loving the taste. Love it homemade. Their own recipes. Freshly baked. Brighton's best Bakehouse. Love that homemade taste.
So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the game of the day. It is the Kingborough Black Tigers in their traditional black Guernsey with the yellow sash against the Sandy Bay White Lions. And it's been a very entertaining game, Duff.
It's been a ripper, Andrew. Kingborough just got a little bit quiet on the scoreboard, haven't they?
Well, they have. It'll be interesting to see what changes they've made to see if Josephine Rose, I reckon if they need to win the game, Duff, I reckon she'll go to centre half forward. And one of the other moves, which they've already done, and there she is at centre half forward, is to put Gabby White on the ball.
Oh, yes.
So we've got a couple of strategic moves, and I'd be interested to see if Sandy Bay have followed suit with a couple of their moves. I've liked it the way that the coaches have swung those changes around, Duff.
What's interesting, though, is that the breeze sort of died in that third quarter, but it's just picked up a little bit.
Yeah, it has. What did you? I know you went out and checked the weather wall, which is just positioned on the other side of the ground. What have you got to report in relation to that wind, Duff?
Yeah, well, like I said, I checked it at half-time. There was only like a 3-kilometre wind to the left screen.
Yep.
It's gone up to about 13 now.
Yeah, okay.
So it could be a telling blow there for the Sandy Bay girls.
All right, that was Rowley who picked that ball up a few seconds ago. She was dispossessed. Well played by Webb. But it is Sandy Bay just eked that goal out, Duff. That was Ella Maxwell who's put that one over. And I tell you what, I'm tipping that that's a big... Look at Ella. She is up and about, isn't she, Duff?
Oh, wouldn't you be?
Oh, you've kicked a goal in the game of the day being filmed by Duff TV. And she's going to be able to watch this on the Mood Food replay infinitum. Have a look at this. Here she is. Look at the determination from her. She was out of the contest there, Duff. Now, she could have laid on the ground, but here's a good lesson. Look at the second effort by this young lady. Ella Maxwell, take a bow. That is fantastic football by you to get up. I thought that she was off and down and injured, Duff, but she was so stoic with that second effort. You'd love to see that, Duff, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
resilience, great resilience by her.
Here they go again. This is the second clearance for the Kingborough girls. Oh,
Oh,
it's a great grab.
Good work. And Verhagen, Duff, she's kicked 2 goals so far. She knows how to kick them. Here she is. She's a fair way out, but she's got a good boot. Oh, she goes to pass.
Yeah, no,
and
didn't
just
come
fell a
off.
bit short. That's the only thing that she always likes to share the ball around, doesn't she?
That's right, yeah. Just probably should have just gone for the goals that time.
Very unselfish player, but here they go again. Coombe tries to get the ball back inside. I pray, though, you know, that she's going to just swoop on it, but she is beset upon. Good tap out here. Under a fair amount of pressure, there is Rose Loney. Just goes the defensive side, Duff.
She's like a ball magnet, this little Oprah, isn't she?
Oh,
Every
yeah.
time she's near it, the ball just goes straight towards her.
And she just lowers herself down, Duff, to get very low and gets her fingers through the grass and strong through the core to keep herself upright. Very well balanced player. I think that's what you were saying off camera. She's one of the more balanced players you've seen in all the years.
Under pressure.
Oh, yeah.
So you can be a good end-to-end kicker. Like I was very good at end-to-end.
Oh, yes.
But in a game, under pressure, nah.
Yeah, no, that's
not so good, Andrew.
Yeah, that's one of the things I have to say, Duff. I've noticed that about you in some of the things. You're very good, but a little bit of pressure comes on, you know. So, but I know you're working on that, and you are working on that, so that's a good thing. It is. Oh, here comes that rain. I know our producer, Jerry, has put that up for it. Producer/director, Duff.
Oh.
Is there anything else he needs to be
He
called?
wears a few hats down there.
Oh.
Now we've got a free kick here to Kingborough. This is an important kick on goal.
And you did say to me at the break, if Josephine Rose goes down there, I think they're a chance. Oh, she judged that pretty well, didn't she, Duff, to try and bring it back, but just a little bit too much. And through for the minor score, but they're starting to pepper the goals, Duff.
Yeah, disappointing result there. That makes them
She opened
14
it up.
points down still.
Look at the way she opened it up, Duff. Did really well and just brought it back a tad too much. In those kicks, you've just got to always aim inside the furthest goalpost, and she went to the near side. Always easy from the Peter Sharp Tower, but it is McGregor who's going to take this free kick in from the restart. McGregor out towards Opo, but there she is. Rose takes the ball, steams towards the goal, but just for the minor score. She looks so dangerous, doesn't she, Duff, when she's got the IGA in her hands?
Yeah. That was a great goal that she kicked in that second quarter. Probably one of the better goals we've had today.
But
Very
footy
dangerous.
awareness stuff, hasn't she? Like there, a lot of kids would have just taken the mark and thought, oh, well, I'll go back. But she saw an opportunity to go, oh, there she is again. Goodness gracious me.
She's like Peter Hudson, just puts the mitts up and bang, it just sticks.
Well, talking of Hudson, look at the number on the back, Duff.
Oh.
Number 26, the great Peter Hudson. She's a long way out here, Duff.
Too far out.
Too far out from Duff. Look at the kick. She's gone the pass, almost pulled it into Gatehouse. Screw over the back. And from the determination you can hear, which I love, the honk of the horn, it is a goal, Duff. Let's have a look at this one on the Mood Food replay. Gee, that was a good play by the Tigers.
Yeah, just a great mark, though.
As the ball came out.
Sent it back down. And
so McGregor took
very
the kick.
determined goal by the Tigers.
And Josephine Rose, have a look here. She lowers the eyes and says, oh, I'm not sure if there's a lead there. He can come in. That's a cracker of a kick. Big, long one. Is coming out to meet the ball. And a quick kick over there by Phoebe Gatehouse as we now go to Brighton's best Bakehouse scoreboard, which shows the Tigers 4-3-27, closing the gap to Sandy Bay White 5-4-34.
How do you reckon the old coach is feeling now for Kingborough over there?
Well, I know what it'd be like, Duff, as I've had those magnets in my hands before. The heart is starting to race now, Duff, let me tell you.
You know the key to it is like the Saints last night. Now, the St Kilda didn't kick 2 in a row until the 3rd quarter.
Yep.
But when they did, they went bang, bang, bang. And look at this.
Well, here they go again through the agency of Rose. Which way is it going to bounce? It goes towards the out of bounds, which is going to be a pretty good result, Duff, because that's now going to be a ball up, bringing it 10 metres in and right up in the forward area for the rampaging Tigers. So here goes Gatehouse. She's the goal scorer from just a few minutes ago. There is Van Drizen. Kicks towards the goal. It's going close and picked up in the last line of defence from the Bay. Gee whiz, they're doing it. Here's one of their prime movers, Duff, in Rowley. She picks it up, trying to get her hands on the onion. Well played here. Gets it out towards Wilkinson. And she's been deemed to be holding the ball. So the free kick is going to Atherton. And we can almost hear that the crowd is really surging now, aren't they?
Yeah.
They sense that this is going to be going right down to the wire.
Well, it's just about, you know, next goal wins almost, isn't it?
Gee whiz, I tell you what, that's a big call there, Duff.
I reckon if Kingborough get the next goal, they'll go on with this. But if Sandy Bay get the next goal, it's going to make it very difficult.
Yeah, indeed. So that was a good tackle there by Atwell for Sandy Bay, but it's going down towards the danger area for the Tigers as they get it in. You can see, look at them, determination, close towards the line. Brilliant defence by Kumar. Gets it out now. That's Davey. Davey goes to kick. Atwell's there to support. Gets the quick kick going towards Giblin. Giblin goes back in to get it.
Yes.
And I think taken high, Duff.
Yep.
And nothing's going to get away from umpire Geeson.
That puts him up to 97% in his accuracy for the day.
Oh, and he's just so clear and precise, isn't he? He just raises the arm. No, play on, girls. As well picked up by Van Drizen going forward, and the Tigers, they look dangerous, Duff.
They've got their back up here a little bit. Look, a lot of belief in the Tigerland. Don't worry about that.
Oh, this girl here, Rose, I'd say she's one of the best marks I've seen in female football.
I tell you what, that's one of the best points. It looked like a goal from here, Andrew.
Well, the umpire sort of stands in towards the goals, as we appreciate that umpire very, very much.
She must have missed it. It must have just faded away at the last second.
But the marking, it's a hard thing to mark a football. Let's be clear on this, over your head.
Yes.
And to see her do it, not once as a fluke, Duff, but she consistently has a vertical leap and just dukes it cleanly. She's a cracker of a player. As here go the Tigers, and why wouldn't you go towards Rose?
Start calling her Hutto, number 26
and
on the
here
back.
she goes again. Oh, she's unselfish, trying to bring Hagan into it. Hagan doesn't let her go, and she goes towards the goals, and she's put it through, and here come the Tigers, Duff.
And look at the score.
Goodness gracious me, I think one more goal each, it's going to be a draw. So let's just check the Brighton's Best Bakehouse scoreboard, which reads tantalisingly, let me tell you, Duff. Tigers 5-4-34 to Sandy Bay 5-4-34, as there we see Rose on the replay taking the mark. Unselfishly goes the short pass over towards Neve Hagan, who doesn't let her down, Duff, with a very good pickup. And that's a tough goal with plenty of defenders right in your face and charging you down. And we have got a cracker. So,
oh, geez.
Well, our tweet is going mad
now
here, Duff, and the Facebook, because everyone's enjoying. Yes, we've got one here from Rowley. Rowley says Sandy Bay. Here's Bruce from Tigers. He says Tigers. Well, we're not sure which way it's going to go, Duff. It's a very close one, as it is. Opre picks it up. So can they find something here, the Bay, as the Tigers, oh, there you are, they've gone the wrong way, but they know what they're doing, going the wrong way to get the right way, Duff, as 52, that is Coombe, picks it up. She is trying to barge her way through. I think she's been pinged for holding the ball, and that's the way the umpire sees it. And Atwell's going to take the free kick, Duff.
Great tackle there by Atwell.
So Atwell.
Oh, she's gone over.
She slips when she does it, but oh, look out, here's the dangerous Rowley. Rowley picks it up. Oh, they got the numbers here, Duff. They skirt around, have a shot on goal, and it is, it's gone just to the side of the post, so it's on the full. Oh, that would have been a handy point, Duff.
Oh, wouldn't it be? And then, you know, just keep the ball in there for a couple of minutes, you win the match.
Up. So now there is the Mood Food replay. It's just to the side, a metre the other side. You're in back where it would have been shades of Barry Breen in 66, Duff. So now it is the Tigers. Kick that one out wide. Atwell tries to take the chest mark. Tigers get a quick kick. Who's got the break? It is Rowley. The never give up Rowley picks the ball up. She's just fallen on it, gets a quick handball out towards Giblin. Oh, they've been dispossessed. Here go the Tigers as they get that one onto their boot. That was Camarelli. She was a ripper in that one. It goes towards Rose. If she gets the Dukes on it, Duff, she can kick it from 50. The ball's in dispute now. Comes further afield. They need to try and get it out the back, and there she is lurking on the ball as Rose tries to pick it up. She can't do so. Ball now in dispute. It's towards centre half forward position, and the Bay clear.
Important play here, Andrew.
Here come the Tigers. Can they get down and get their Dukes on it? It is Atherton. She's been dispossessed this time by, of course, Rowley. They go back in. No, I think the umpires have put the whistle away. Here's at the dangerous zone for the Tigers as they try and pick it up. Well done there by Verhagen. Big tackle, gets the one out. Here comes Gatehouse. She's like the big great white shark just coming out here. She comes. Good tackle by her. Tries to barge her way through. Going, and this is going to be a close contest. Nice tackle. Brilliant play here. Oh, dear. It's 2 minutes to go. Desperation stakes as Sandy Bay trying to force it towards the line. Here is Gatehouse, Duff. They get the kick.
My money's on Kingborough here.
Oh, look out. You're changing sides, Duff. But it is the Tigers. They've got it inside their 50. Couple of minutes to go. Comes out, ball in dispute. Maxwell's there. Can't pick it up. Who's going to take possession? Tigers now do. Can't pick it up. Oh, Atwell. She tries to break.
She's
there. Gets a handball. She has, and it is Sandy Bay now. Let's have a look at the bounce of the ball. And he goes out towards James. James, long kick towards centre half forward position. White's there. White, normally pretty good. Look out, here's a dangerous player in Rose. If she can get the Dukes on it. Oh, what a rundown tackle, Duff.
She got a handball.
Wilkinson picks it up, kicks it towards the goal, and it is one behind a nonchalant goal umpire. Does he know the theatre of the game? Does he know the situation of the game as he goes off? And that is a very, very important behind at this stage of the game, Duff.
Oh, it's going to be tough for Sandy Bay now. They've got about a minute 25 left in the match, Andrew. They've got to get the ball down the other end, and they've got to score a goal.
What a great tackle by Wilkinson, Duff. Desperation as the Tigers. They are irrepressible at the moment as Rose chips in. Rose appealing for a free kick. She doesn't get it. Now here's a chance. Good bump by Sandy Bay. They need clean possession if they can. It's almost ticking down, Duff, to the last minute of play. Holding up, sorry. And the umpire's going to come in. The whistle's getting close. He says, I'll have it.
Wow.
So what an exciting, thrilling match here, Duff.
45 seconds to go.
45 seconds to go. McGregor's come in very quickly to try and force this ball out. Here is one of their big players in Rowley. So Opray gets it. I think that's going to be the tackle that will win the game, Duff. What a magnificent tackle. 2 tackles in the last passage of play. That one by Scarlett Fell. And Fell's just consummate. She just knows what's going on, Duff. She said, I'll just take the time now. The clock's on our side. Fell, long raking kick towards the dangerous Rose. Rose will go back in to try and get it again. What has Sandy Bay got left? The last roll of the dice. Kingborough, they're keeping that ball in, just trying to stop the attack here from Sandy Bay. And there is the siren has gone. What a magnificent advertisement for football, Duff. A game that is played like that in the Barwick STJFL Under-15 Girls Division that sees Tigers Black 5-5 35 to Sandy Bay White 5-4 34. For Kingborough, 2 goals to Verhagen, 1 to Rose, Hagen and Gatehouse. And for Sandy Bay White, it is Rowley 4 and Maxwell 1. Well, Duff, that was a ripper game.
That was a top shelf game of football there, Andrew. It went in ebbs and flowed a couple of times in that match. My money was really on the Sandy Bay. I think they kicked the first goal the last quarter.
Yes.
I think they did. But Kingborough, with that never say die attitude, got the chocolates at the end of the day.
My goodness gracious me, but there were 2 tackles right at the end. I was so impressed. I thought for every minute of the game that as soon as Rose got the ball, Duff, she was going to kick a goal. And Olivia Wilkinson for Sandy Bay, the desperation to run her down. And right at the end, the tackle, I think it was it Hagen or no, Scarlett fell, who ran down her opponent. There it is there, that was the one. Look at that tackle. You know, the fleet of foot Opre, you would have backed her to get away, but terrific work. And here's what we love to see, Duff. Not just today, but every day, the appreciation for the men and women in green. As the two teams, and interesting enough, both Sandy Bay and Kingborough taking part in this game and in the next, coming around and show their appreciation for the great work that the umpires get. And I think it's great that we keep the cameras rolling for the fabulous Phil Geeson as he comes in. And I apologise for not knowing the umpire.
The young fella,
The young fella. We just called him Umpire Young Fella. And he's done a good job. And what a wonderful learning experience for Umpire Young Fella.
Under a lot of pressure in that last quarter, and he stood up and did
he would have been
job.
very... Oh, look at him there. He loves that Umpire Young Fella. And Umpire Geese, and he's getting used to it. Thanks very much. He's just like Bradman coming off after scoring one of his regular tons. Just the left arm up, touches the hat, off he goes. And I reckon he's gone straight into the rooms there, Duff, to just give a bit of guidance to the next umpires. So well done to Umpire Young Fella and Umpire Geeson for a job very well done. But I tell you what, Duff, I reckon the football viewers out there are the winners to be able to watch such a good quality game.
All right, Andrew.
So we thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us here. As talking of doyens, there is Nick Arnold just having a chat to Umpire Geese, and he's just sort of saying, look, I thought you missed one kick. That was the one, and he was just explaining why and just going over that. So just wonderful to see that. And the umpires coming on, talking of appreciation. That's great to see a young lady coming on to umpire the next game. So that's all for me here from the Jezza Jones Oval. It's been my privilege to do the hosting of two really, really good games. But what a great way for me to go out in that one, Duff. Just to reiterate, it was Kingborough Black by 1 point against Sandy Bite here at Jezza Jones Oval for Martin Duffy and Jezza there it was pushing all the dials, and the old Silver Fox in the main commentary tower. We hope that you've enjoyed the coverage of our live broadcast games, and I look forward to when I come back to you in the next weeks.